Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Mossy here, aka Cybex Trades, and today I'm back with another trade review. I took one trade this week so far, and it's going to be on Boeing. The recap's going to be quick and straightforward. FOMC week and earnings season, so yeah, there was not much, and Boeing's had an earning play, so coming into the day is just straightforward. Boeing's had earning, and even though their earnings were negative, of course, had a gap up here, breaking this huge range, going over to the weekly. As you can see, weekly here, just like this fat candle here on the open, and we know we go down to the daily as well. Was making this, if we look at it, remove this here, just make a quick chart here. You know, it was kind of squeezing pretty much, and you know, bounce happened, looks beautiful, but I didn't notice that until later, actually, when I saw someone else's video. But anyway, I don't watch your key levels here plotted were 220, 223, 224. I mean, 220, 223, 226, and yeah, and then above in 230 or so. So coming into the day, I saw that we gapped up pretty heavily, so literally right above this. Let me go into the 1 hour here just to make it more clear. And yeah, so we come in here and we opened pretty much. Okay, that's not a good, actually. That's not, doesn't give you guys the best visuals. But yeah, so anyway, nice gap up here. Let's go into the small time frame so you can see the visual. And I was watching it above 224, because the reason why is because if you look back here, go back to the 1 hour, 224 right here as well. If you can see 223.93, whatever, you can just round it up to 224. It's way better that way. So I was watching it to hold above these levels here, because you can see I had two touches here. I wanted to make sure you hold above here before I take calls. And honestly, my game plan was really good. Even before I had it, before I even executed this trade, my game plan went perfectly as it could go. But my execution in terms of not execution, but in terms of my trade management was really poor, because if we look at here, so we coming in here, so we come here with here. Let me just actually load up the EMAs that I sometimes that I use for the most part to help me manage my trade. And I really I was focused too much on a 1 minute time frame looking back now, and that's what really kind of held me back. So yeah, this was a really poor trade in terms of risk to reward, because I entered right here at 224, 80, 85, 90, around there. And if we can see here, volume is really well above average, right? Really high. Nicely pushing here, holding above all the EMAs. Entered two contracts of the 227 calls, I believe, 227.5. Let me check. Yeah, 230 calls, sorry. Yeah, 230 calls, and the premiums were decent enough, even though it was out of the money. But regardless, very decent premium move for the accounts that I'm playing. And personally, I entered here, and one of the reasons why I got took shaken out really fast, or was that going into the trade, it moves fast. So execution-wise, I just entered. Didn't really know. I had a stop loss of 15 cents, but didn't really know where to exit, because it was at 224.85 that I entered. So I was like, I'm gonna exit at 220 if we don't hold 224, right? But then I was like, wait a second, like I entered at 224.85, so 15 cents, like that doesn't make sense, right? It's gonna be still holding the level of 224. So yeah, I went in here, and then the next 2 minutes we went up to 225.50. Really exited pretty much like 3 seconds into it. So really good trade plan, just poor execution, poor management, really. And looking back, that's what I need to work on. Is just really emotions were present. Looking back, my emotions were definitely present in terms of like, oh man, like I didn't really look at the 5 minute time frame. I was really focused on the 1 minute time frame. But yeah, emotions were present, and I was like, okay, SPY was doing its own thing, because that's today's FOMC day. So yeah, and SPY was doing something, but Boeing just had a nice volume right off the open, and I was able to capitalize 7% on it. So $34 for the day. And yeah, I mean, looking back, I mean, it even hit my first profit target level beautifully and very nicely. And I looked on the tape here, actually looking back when on the recording, I saw 225 was a level. There was a huge ass sitting on 225. Once 225 printed on the tape, we just had a huge. Even if you guys can look at this 1 minute candle here, down below here, we have 372,000 volume here compared to the average, which is 38,000. And yeah, I mean, once 225 printed on time and sales, like I saw the ask, it was like 500 shares. So do the math on that. And yeah, once that happened, boom. I mean, we just had a push up, and I just looking back at it, you know, I guess because part of it was I didn't really accept the risk, because I entered such a area in the stock price that I was just like, okay, where's my stop loss? For a second, I knew my stop loss usually is 15 cents, but when it's already like at 224.85, I was like, okay, where am I gonna have it? Because 224 is already, gone. But looking back at it, yeah, so that's what I'll focus on, and look at the bigger time frame, and also watching volume more. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the day. Just one trade, really, two contracts in and out. 142 walked out green, but still, 7% of the account. Still overall, not really happy with this trade. I really consider this a poor trade because emotions were present. Risk to reward, I butchered it for myself, and this could have gone. This could have been easily a red day. And but this ER gap up play worked beautifully. So yeah, it was just on my end that didn't execute really well. So didn't manage and execute to the best. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and that's pretty much for the trade. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.